And this shows all the pages that are part of my website. And right now I just have a home page. And so I'm going to hover over home, and then the three dots menu comes up over here on the far right. I click on that and I can duplicate the page, get properties for the page, or add a subpage. And in this subpage, I'm going to call it interests. Now, these subpages are part of, you can't, it's Google Sites creates a navigation bar for you automatically, and it uses the name of these pages that you put in. And so you do want to, use a friendly name for that, something that, people can just look at the navigation bar and see understand exactly what's on that page. So it's fairly easy to, oh gosh, it's fairly easy to add new pages. And then if I want a sub page for the interest page, I hover over interest and say add subpage there, and I'm going to call this one music, because I'm interested in music. But it's a subpage of music, of interest, and not of home. So let's preview this site, and I need to talk about undo and redo here. It's not let, oh, there we go. So if you've done something and you're like, oh man, I just whacked that up. That was terrible. It does have these undo and redo links up here, so that if you're not sure, you changed it massively and you're not sure how you did it or how to get it back, you have undo and redo links up here. And the next one I'm going to talk about is this one. It looks like a little computer and tablet icon. And that's what you click on to preview your site. And it's going to open up a new tab with the preview in it. So this is pretty much, it's wider than in my editor. Oh, it didn't open a new tab. I'm sorry. But this is exactly what it will look like from a visitor's perspective. And then I want to talk about these things down here. You can change, like the far left one is the phone icon, and that changes it so you can see what it looks like on somebody's phone. And then the middle one is tablet, and this is how it will look on a tablet. And then this is computer. And on about those previews is that your mileage, this is more like pirate guidelines instead of hard and fast rules, that it will look exactly like this on a tablet or on a smartphone, because each user's smartphone is different. So you kind of just, when you're looking at this, if it looks, generally that's what you're happy with that, then you can just proceed. But it may look different depending on who accesses it. Um, and then there's another icon here, report a problem. Never have had to use that. And then when I'm done previewing the site, I can click on this exit preview button to go back to the editor. All right. Now, let's continue on. And this next icon is the link icon, but it's grayed out because this site has never been published. I can't get a site link. I can't get a link to my website until until I've published it. So I'm going to go over here to my IT home resource page, and I can click on that because it's obviously been published. Here is the URL for accessing the site. And then you can copy that and email it um, um, so that people can access it. And then, all right, the next button is share with others. Now, this is a thing that trips up a lot of people. What they think that's how others get to your site, and that is not what this is for. This is so that you can add people who can edit your website. But there is this section, and this is a very, very important section, is when it's published, these are the permission settings to how it's published. Because you can say, you got these three choices. You can say anyone can find and view the published version from the web. And 99% of the time, that's exactly how you're going to do it. You can say anyone at Sholo Unified can find the published version. So maybe you want to just publish a site for your students to access and nobody else. That's the permission that you would use. And then the last one is specific people can view when published. And I'm going to cancel that. You would have to add those people here if you made that choice so that they can view, I believe. Yeah. I've never actually used that setting. So, all right. Okay, here's another. This is a site settings. I clicked on the gear icon, and this is the site settings. And there's a few things you can change in here, but there's not a ton. The one thing that you may want to, it's off by default. Oh, you can't use it. Never mind. You have to get analytics on the site. You have to have a Google Analytics tracking ID number, and because we're education users and we get Google Apps for free, we don't have one of those numbers. So the only things you can change in here are navigation, your brand images, info icon, that kind of stuff. There's not a lot here. The one thing that I did change on my IT at home page is I put the navigation on the side instead of along the top. And so if I change that and go back to preview, that puts the navigation over here on the left instead of across the top. Now, if you kind of know that you're not going to have a ton of pages, top looks a little cleaner, but it will pretty soon it will fill up all of these. Now, I want to point out that, oh, I think they've changed it. Yeah, it's just a flyout menu now. Let me add another page just for kicks and giggles here. We'll call this one links. And then I'm going to go back and view that. Oh, it does do it as, yeah, they used to scroll all of those navigation links across the top, and they've changed it now to where it's under a home icon, and then it's a flyout menu which is kind of cool.